Martell Holt is once again at the center of public discussion, not because of a statement he made, not because of a scene that aired on television, but because of something he chose to support publicly on social media. This situation did not begin with drama. It began with a single Instagram post, a post that many people might normally scroll past. But when context is added and when history is considered, that single action takes on much more meaning. This conversation is not really about one Instagram like. It is not about one woman posting a suggestive video. It is not about bloggers reaching or exaggerating. What this is really about is a pattern of behavior that has followed Martell Holt for years, a pattern that raises ongoing questions about how he views women, how he presents himself publicly, and whether he has learned anything from past criticism. The Instagram post in question came from a woman who shared a video that was clearly sexual in tone. The language used in the video leaned heavily into sexual jokes and innuendo. The message focused on performance and physical acts. While the woman later tried to soften the moment by saying it was just humor and not meant to be taken seriously, intent does not erase impact. Once something is posted publicly, it becomes open to interpretation, response, and reaction. The video itself was reportedly inspired by a comment under an earlier post. That original comment leaned into explicit suggestions and sexual meaning. Whether that comment can still be found does not change the situation. The tone was already clear. The direction was already set. What made this moment different was not the post itself, but who chose to engage with it. Martell Holt liked the post. He did not do it privately. He did not do it accidentally from a hidden account. He liked it publicly from his verified profile. In the world of social media, especially for reality television figures, likes are visible. They are trackable. They send a message, whether words are used or not. This is where the discussion shifts. A random person liking a suggestive post may not mean much. Social media is filled with content like this, and many people engage without thinking. But Martell Holt is not a random person. His history, his public statements, and his past behavior change how this action is viewed. Over the years, Martell has been involved in repeated controversies related to women. His infidelity storyline was not just about cheating. It involved entitlement, excuses, and public comments that many viewers found degrading. He openly criticized his wife's sexual performance while justifying a long-term affair. Those words did not disappear. Viewers remember them. Because of that history, his engagement with sexualized content hits differently. It is not seen as harmless scrolling. It is seen as consistent behavior. That consistency is what made people pause and ask questions once again. The reaction online was immediate. Across platforms, people expressed embarrassment, disappointment, and frustration. Many comments described his behavior as immature and disrespectful. These reactions were not isolated. They were repeated by many different people who felt tired of seeing the same cycle play out again and again. What stood out most was not anger, but exhaustion. Viewers were not shocked, they were worn out, tired of excuses, tired of growth being promised but never shown, tired of watching a grown man with children continue to embarrass himself publicly. This moment was not private. Nothing was leaked. Nothing was taken out of context. Martell chose to engage with that post knowing that people could see it, knowing that bloggers would notice, knowing that fans would talk. That awareness makes the action intentional, whether people want to admit that or not. There is a common excuse that people forget likes are visible. That excuse does not hold weight anymore. Social media has existed long enough for everyone to understand how it works. Likes tell a story. Engagement shows alignment. Silence does not erase that. When Martell likes content that reduces women to sexual acts, viewers connect it to his past. They remember what he said about Melody. They remember how he spoke about being pleased. They remember how he justified betrayal. This is not viewers being messy. This is viewers responding to a narrative he helped build. At some point, responsibility becomes unavoidable. If Martell does not want people discussing what he likes, then he has control over what he engages with. Public figures cannot separate their online actions from public reaction. Another uncomfortable layer of this situation involves Arionne Curry. Many viewers immediately thought of her when they saw the post, not because she was mentioned, but because of the way Martell's relationship with her has always been framed. For years, the implication has been that Martell stayed in that relationship for physical reasons rather than emotional ones. That message was not created by viewers. It was reinforced by his own words and actions. So when he liked content centered around sexual performance, people naturally made the connection. Viewers asked whether this like was a message. Was it a signal? Was it a reminder of what he values? Whether intentional or not, the association exists because of the story he promoted. This is where contradictions begin to appear. At times, Arionne herself has made statements suggesting that Martell did not enjoy certain sexual acts. Yet here he is, engaging with content that implies the opposite. This creates confusion and invites speculation. If someone is truly trying to change their image, this behavior works against that goal. Cleaning up an image requires consistency. It requires awareness. It requires effort. This moment showed none of that. This is also not the first time Martell has engaged with content that many viewers consider degrading toward women. Over the years, he has liked and supported posts that suggest women are disposable, that mock women for wanting commitment, or that frame women's value as purely physical. Each time this happens, the same question returns. Why does he continue to publicly align himself with this messaging? Why does he seem comfortable reinforcing these ideas? Many viewers were reminded of a specific scene involving Destiny. In that moment, Destiny explained that she was dating but not sleeping with the men she was seeing. Martell's reaction was telling. He appeared confused and almost offended, as if the idea of dating without sex was strange to him. That reaction revealed a mindset. It showed expectation. It showed entitlement. When that scene is connected to his current social media behavior, the pattern becomes clearer. At this point, many people believe Martell is fully aware of the reaction he provokes. Some think he seeks attention, even negative attention. Each time his relevance seems to fade, something happens that puts him back in the conversation. This raises an uncomfortable question. Is this careless behavior, or is it strategic? Does he genuinely not care, or does he understand exactly what he is doing? Another major topic surrounding this situation is Martell's reduced presence on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Viewers have noticed that he appears less and less in trailers and promotional material. Some have questioned whether he even has a real storyline anymore. Reality television depends on connection. When cast members stop interacting, storylines disappear. If Martell is disconnected from the group, his role naturally shrinks. Some speculate that producers may bring Arionne onto the show to create relevance again. Others believe he is simply being phased out due to negative reception and lack of growth. Either way, his social media behavior is not helping his position. Martell has often said that producers should either film his real life or not film him at all. That statement raises another question. What happens when his real life no longer fits into the show? What happens when his actions become more of a problem than a contribution? Right now, many people feel Martell is stuck. There is no visible growth, no accountability, no evolution, just repeated cycles playing out online and on screen. This conversation is not about controlling what someone likes on Instagram. It is about accountability. It is about patterns. It is about the messages sent through repeated actions. Martell Holt has shown viewers who he is many times. Each time people offer grace, another moment appears that reminds them why they stopped believing in change. So the real question is not whether the like was intentional. The real question is why he is still comfortable being seen this way. Why, after years of criticism, does this behavior continue? That question remains unanswered. And until it is addressed with real change, the conversation will continue. Viewers will continue to notice, bloggers will continue to talk, and Martell will continue to be in the spotlight, not for growth, but for repetition. This moment could have been avoided. It did not have to happen, but it did, and it adds another chapter to a story that many people feel should have ended differently. In the end, actions speak louder than explanations, likes speak louder than silence, and patterns speak louder than promises.